going down an elevation. It really is like a valley of this way, then going this way, and then basically all this area is just a valley of like further descending slopes. Not like huge drops. I'm not talking cliffs. Well, maybe there's a cliff here and there, but it's pretty gradual for the most part. Streams aplenty because that's how mountain rivers work. They go down. If you find a river that goes up, let me know so I can contact whoever needs to be contacted.
Or SCP, gotcha.
You guys travel for, let's see, it's 8 o'clock when you guys get up and get going. I'm just going that 30 minutes into that. So it's about high noon, we'll say 1 o'clock. Not even high noon, not even afternoon. It's just 1 p.m., 1300. Where you guys come across, I'll just say groundbreaking. No, that's a very broken trail, which is to say, someone cleared a path with like heavy steps and etc. It goes along the same. It follows parallel to a stream, a large stream. This one is about 2 meters wide, thereabout. So a pretty decent stream, almost a river. It's a relatively gentle stream though. It's just sort of just rolling. Goes a bit deep. I would say about to your hip, because you guys can see the bottom. If it's not like super ugly murky, because this is like mountain water. And you guys are just sort of following, or you guys take note of this trail. And then I guess I should ask, do you follow it or do you ditch it?
Might as well follow it in my book.
Yeah.
Any naysayers? Let's put it like that. All right.
I am good.
All right. So you guys follow the trail, and you actually do catch up to the people that made it. 2 people, a man and a woman. One of them is dressed in Seeker garb, and the other one is dressed in Slayer garb. And it seems that the Seeker, the woman, is just sort of talking at the Slayer one. The Slayer guy is just sort of like, apathetic. And they're just sort of like by a pond. And they're just sort of talking back and, well, I say talking back and forth. One's talking at the other one, but it seems to be maybe a dialogue. If he ever bothers talking at all.
Magnus would announce himself. He called for their attention.
Love hearing the music, the triumphant music.
You just
in the
walk into like a movie theater? Those are closed.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, am I not muted? Oh, my bad.
No, you're not. It's fine. So, you guys approach the duo. The Slayer regards you all. Again, it seems like he's pretty content in being apathetic and passive. While the Seeker woman, you can see her face. She has like short black hair. It goes about to mid of her neck, maybe a bit longer, green eyes. Pretty pristine face. She smiles and like just waves at you and gives you like, a ho there sort of greeting. Well, we weren't expecting anyone to be out here.
Neither were we, to be honest, but
We sort of got wandered.
Outwandered?
No, we were out wandering.
Ah.
I'd quite far to be wandering.
Part of the job.
Speaking of which, have you encountered strange talking lights in the night?
Strange talking lights, and she says is looking at the Slayer. And he's just like staring at you like semi apathetic entirely, semi just plain like purposely unamused. No. Can you describe him?
Yes, I give them a description of what happened before. Different colors, different languages came when we were rest camping. I recount what I could hear from the conversation, the common and the neighbors part of it.
I think you all, like, once you guys compile your linguistic capabilities, I think you guys basically just understood all of it. It's just a matter of, like, at the moment, you guys can only understand
Yeah, sure.
personally bits and pieces. But we'll say you guys, like, sort of broke it down over breakfast, and then you guys have roughly the entire conversation with some literal translations here and there, bringing up some confusion here and there. But other than that, it's fine. The woman just sort of shakes her head like, no, nothing like that, I'm afraid.
How about any marble statues?
We've seen those. Don't know what they are.
Disappointing.
Tell you what, we're taking a break here. Why don't you join us for a bit and we can talk things over? Unless you guys are desperate.
I look to Magnus and then look back at them. It was my understanding that we were the furthest ones out here.
Well, she just sort of like, it's like shrugging at. She's like, well, that might be the case. We sort of wandered out here, so furthest is a subjective term.
Which camp do you hail from?
Well, I'm a seeker, obviously. That should mean like a literal camp.
Yeah, yes, the latter.
By the sun, we were some ways, I guess now long ways, east of here. Past the large lake.
Weird question. Do their clothes seem to fit them properly? Or are they just...
Fit them
Yeah, like, are they, like, too tight or too loose at locations?
Roll perception.
Okie dokie. Where's my sheet? There you are.
18. They both seem perfectly fitted. Like, the way the Slayer moves around in his gear, he's well used to it, and the woman just... Well, Seeker gear isn't that, like... It's not like plate armor, right? She's just wearing, like, leather and stuff like that, so... similar to you, it's pretty easy to move around in, and she seems just fine moving around and such.
Oh, perfect. We actually have some business in Alset. Does this path take us there?
The lake village.
Indeed.
Continue down the slope enough, you'll get there. It's impossible to miss, really. Large lake, the only thing in the lake is a village. Again, it's impossible.
Any trouble on the road there?
In all honesty, it's been quite surprising. We haven't come across anything. We're wandering out here.
Really?
Nothing.
We did have a run-in with... What did you say it was called, Dolly?
2 seconds. A scavenger. Savager.
Kind
Big
of large
bear thing
bear
with
with...
Well,
spike
don't think I've
fins.
ever encountered one of those. Big spike thing.
Yes, it had what was it called? Porcupines out of his back. Very large. Very angry. Also heavily injured.
About the size of that. I point at...
The drake.
Yeah, Brongar.
The big guard drake that just is there.
Very unsanitary as well from the smell, apparently.
It looked injured when it came upon us, so there might be
Yes.
something bigger, potentially, out there. We don't know.
Mild fights as well.
Well, suppose we ever come across it. Good to know. But again, with our luck, seems like honestly, they're the first things of any notable status that we've come across.
Yes, well, hopefully it stays that way.
I hope not. Gets boring.
Really? Are you looking for anything particular?
Anything, really. And honestly, with this, she like throws her hand, like just cocks it at the Slayer. Mute here. feels like I'm walking alone, so I get a bit lonely. He just like straight at that, like again, apathetically unamused. He rolls her eyes at the silence. See what I mean?
Well.
Well.
Where are you heading to now?
More wandering, I suppose. I was thinking about going closer towards the mountain. But hey, since I met all of you, mind if we tag along? Might be going back the way we came, but doesn't matter.
I look
The assistants are not
to
getting lost.
Genevieve to see if she has any.
She shrugs. She has no input on the matter.
Having the assistants to not get lost would be very appreciated.
I suppose safety in numbers then.
Definitely.
Excellent.
Better together than apart.
Honestly, I've gotten a bit of lay of the land at this point. So, to the big lake.
Yes.
Off we go.
When she extended her indentation, did I get the sense that she is... Does she have an ulterior motive?
Insane.
Don't think I could really give him guidance on this without raising suspicion. Alright, hold on.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, just so we probably got brought up in conversation, by the way. Her name is Medina, and then his name, he never fucking says it. She introduces him for him. Don't mind me. I just realized this name is pretty close to another name, so I'm just gonna change it to avoid confusion. Because then I imagine all the jokes are gonna get made about how they are sound alike, and then haha.
You know, the thought already happened in my brain, so...
Would it be normal for them to give names? Would they give like, oh, this is my number or some shit?
No, they're not that robotic.
Okay. I don't know, you don't usually want to give names to random people you meet in a potentially fairy-infested land.
Well, you have no way of proving that
Yeah.
that's the right way to say their name.
Yeah.
Man, all these names suck. why do these names
Go
suck?
with Jethro.
Random generator. Why are you failing me right now? Let's go to a different naming convention. Let's try Cajun. Why not? What if this is amiable? Like the adjective.
Like just the word amiable.
Hello, I'm amiable.
I don't think that's a
you're
name.
pretty pleasant to be around. No, that's my name.
Yeah, that would be a very ironic name.
It would.
I feel like I've used the name Nestor somewhere, so we're not gonna... not Bastion.
Hey, a friend of the family's surname is Nestor.
That's a cool name, so...
Nestor.
You don't fucking raise it, Emmerich. Good enough for me! Emmerich. Medina and Emmerich. Excuse me. So... Joke and spit. Fuck you, buddy. Just kidding, it's coronavirus.
Oh, shit.
Frail mortal coil.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to the insight. Drinking Monster to clear my throat. Anyways. 19 insight. It does sound like she knows more than she's letting on when it comes to the lake. Maybe she's testing you. Maybe she's like, she has something with the lake. You don't know.
Right.
But she does seem like she does have like, not ulterior motive. She does plan on bringing you to the lake, but she has ulterior information.
Okay.
So yeah, your party of 8 8.5, including the shadows, now 10.5. So you guys keep traveling for some time. You guys can make about halfway.
As we're making our way along, when there's a
Downtown.
moment of them not paying attention directly at Magnus, he's not going to try and be sneaky about it or anything. But when they're looking elsewhere, he's going to relay that information to Genevieve via the message cantrip.
God damn, a fucking message, all the secret shit. So you relate to her that she knows something, like there's just ulterior information.
Yeah.
About Lelek. I wonder what lake is in French. It's probably just lake again. So it takes some, like, she ponders it for a few months before using the reply feature of message. What would you recommend we do then? Be wary?
Yes.
Have you
Be
taken
wary.
this?
Prepare for an ambush.
Have you told the others?
No.
I appreciate your trust. Of course, it's Locke. Locke. Freaking lazy French. You know what the term for lettuce is in French? Salad. You know what the term for salad is in French? Salad. So you have salad in your salad. No shit.
So
En
how do you
français,
tell?
salad en salade? Ooh. Oh.
I have a salad. Hell yeah.
I'll strike up some small talk with and Draconic, and as I'm doing that, I'm just going to sort of subtly pay attention to whether or not Medina and Emmerich, if they catch up on what I'm talking about.
Roll me your insighting. Well, okay, I'll tell you information, and it's up to you going roll me insight. They understand that you're speaking another language. They themselves don't seem to understand it.
All right. In that case, I would just tell in Draconic that the people we're traveling with may know more than they're letting on, and then he should be ready just in case something does happen.
Oh, is muted. He might not be able to talk right now. Who knows? Yeah. So you're doing that in the meantime. Strike up some small talk with her. In the meantime, Genevieve is just sort of... She's normally in the back, but she, like, slows her pace a little bit to be even further in the back. Not, like, 20 feet or something, but, like, just an extra, like, 5 feet. In the meantime, Medina would be talking to probably Jace, just basically asking, like, where you're from, because you're sort of the most normal-looking one in the lot.
Ah, yes, subtle racism.
Compared to the Dragonborn, the Tiefling,
the Nevros, if you want to go that far.
the Half-Elf, etc., etc. But the flip side of this is that Emmerich is content with just being silent and just next to Dust, just be like... It's like Ron Swanson, you know?
The head nod of silent respect.
Yeah.
So, dude,
I went to the same barber for 20 years. I never knew his name. We still don't talk sometimes. It's like that.
Yeah. He would just entertain the conversation. I don't have any particular talking points. He's just talking to him.
No, she like just asks. She inquires and stuff like, "So, where are you from? What do you do?"
Garth doesn't have a specific town in the Keplands. I could just say the Keplands.
Yeah, you can just say the province. Like that's usually satisfactory enough for most people's inquiries.
Yeah,
It's like saying what state you're from.
Yeah. The Keplands. I typically just archive information.
Long way for some archiving.
Well, this is where the interesting things are happening.
Isn't that so? Well, I'm sure we'll be able to show you a lot of interesting things.
Mm-hmm. So where have your journeys taken you?
Mostly out here. I'm pretty new.
I Exciting.
Join at the wrong time, or the best time, depending on who you ask.
Well, asking you, what do you think?
I think it's an interesting time.
Turn to Mr. Silent, and do you want to answer, or you want to just be quiet?
Good luck. He never talks. He just nods at that. See?
But he can communicate.
Well, yes. I wish he'd communicate more, but oh well. You don't get to pick who you're assigned to. What about the rest of you? Where are you guys from? You know where we're from? And she gestures to herself and Jace.
Capital originally.
Capital?
Near the border. Near the border.
Sounds
fun.
Border
Just
between
like, sort of
Silfall and
tensely.
the Heartlands.
No. Let me just quickly pull up. I think it's the Keplin's and Greffel? Yeah, Greffel.
So are you from the capital, or are you from
On the capital side of the border.
capital? Out of game, the capital and Graf are not on the same border.
Are they not?
No, you're
Let's
thinking
have a look.
Sensei in the capital. Or
I'm thinking
Sensei and
Sensei.
Greffel.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I got them mixed up. And
Sounds fun. She just like sort of tensely.
no idea.
And what about you?
Myself, I'm from the border region between the Silfall and the Heartlands.
The New Heartlands.
Indeed. Family has an establishment there. See a lot of traffic, a lot of travelers, businessmen, merchants, that sort of thing. And where people travel,
enterprising.
coins flow in rivers.
Rivers. Rivers of coin. Now that'll be the day.
Huh?
And what about your version of Emmerich? And she points at Dusk. No
Wait,
offense.
what?
I personally like the strong silent types myself.
Oh, do you? I grin and show my fang.
She winks. Maybe.
Well, I come straight from hell. I don't know, just
It's as bad as all this. She gestures around you.
it's nice compared to the battlefield.
Oh. I'll take your word for it. I haven't had to do any combative stuff yet. That being said, perhaps you can... No, never mind.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Hmm.
Oh, sure, they're not going to be
Don't be
offended
shy.
by it.
Don't be shy.
You guys get feel Genevieve pulling slower and slower away. It's further and further into the back.
Now, is that awkward or getting in a potential attacking range?
More of her like, I don't want to be a part of this conversation, so I'll wallflower instead.
It was
No.
wasn't Genevieve that was saying it. It was the Seeker or Slayer.
It's not an Alphonse accent, so we.
Medina the Seeker.
The kind
I
rhymes.
find that secrets often build great distrust between strangers.
I have no secrets.
Doesn't everyone have secrets? So why are you pinging the lake?
I'm an open book.
She opens her mouth to say something, gets a smirk, and then closes her mouth and stops. We'll test that when we camp tonight.
I think you're teasing me. What is this?
Do you not like it?
Insight.
Genevieve
Can I insight them?
slowly slows even more.
Can I insight check them to see if they're like into dusk, or if dusk is gonna be into them?
I think that's pretty obvious at this point.
I mean, yeah, but I like official. I'm gonna give myself guidance.
Yeah, but
make
you
your choice
know,
between persuasion or deception.
Garth.
Begins with
Oh god, he's aroused.
Wait, would arousal for like a tail-based creature make it stand like perfectly rigid and stiff, or what?
You just see veins along it.
I mean,
Is
It
it
literally
wagging?
starts to wag. It starts to. I think that the text is that it thrashes around your.
Jesus,
Oh.
Lord,
Don't.
fucking-
Why did you put around your leg? That doesn't help the imagery.
That's what the text says. I didn't make that up.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I know what happens if you have wings, like if you're like an Asimar. That shit would just go rigid. Anyways, though.
That's gonna be
Dead
awkward.
attention. Yeah, that's why you put the wings away, silly. Duh. So, 20. I think it's already queer. I think it's quite queer. Whether or not Medina's looking for like a fling or a long-term relationship, that's questionable. Probably the former. What is always?
Oh my god.
It's always.
Is that just
I mean, if it's like she's an additional 10 feet back at this point,
Ah!
she's just like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to hear this. I've known you guys for a year, and I don't want to go entertain this field of topic. You guys travel in tense, in a different sense, conversation for about